This is Reforming on Air. I'm your host, Genevieve Ross. Welcome back to this episode of Reforming on Air. I'm so excited because today we have incredible guests that flew all the way here because I couldn't make it out to you guys. I'm too big to fly. We have the founders of Barvida with us, which is one of my favorite brands, and we're going to dig into that later and talk about why that is. But I'm really excited to have you here. So Tara and Brennan, thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
And I'm really excited.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, I'm really excited to talk to you about everything Barvida.
And we're excited to talk about
Yay.
Barvida.
Okay, so first and foremost, you're not like any other health food spot that I know of. I always make this joke with you and I'm like, oh, you're the bad boy of juice.
Yes.
Like I always tease you about that and I joke about that. What makes Barvida different?
It's a good question.
First and foremost, the product. That was the first thing that we wanted to nail. So we are organic, vegan, a high-end juice and smoothie bar concept. And when I say high-end, I mean like quality product, quality packaging, quality experience, the way the place is designed, the way it smells. So we really wanted to capture an entire experience when somebody walked in, not just, is this smoothie good? Is this juice good? But is the entire experience good?
Because we assume, like when we started this, we assumed like that had to be in place. Like the
Right.
smoothies, the products had to be the best of the best.
Right.
So we're like, how can we take a step further and make it like the actual best experience, not just the product?
The product to start, the experience, the branding, how you feel when you walk in,
How do you feel when you leave?
how you feel when you leave, our sort of attitude. Like in our new store, we have a slogan that says, think dirty, drink clean, and it's cheeky, it's tongue-in-cheek, it's playful.
To play off of that, that's another thing that we wanted to capture. We didn't want to take ourselves so seriously. I think a lot of brands, when they start, they want to be the best and they want to present as perfect and they want to let everyone know they know exactly what they're doing. And we're like, and it took us a little bit to get there, but we're like, let's just have fun with it. Like people want to have fun. People want to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's just, let's make our unofficial slogan, the only chemical allowed past our door is Botox.
Yeah, I love that. Well, and here's the thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because a lot of the time, a lot of these health places, whether it's, a brand, a product, they're very alienating, right? They're kind of just for the fit girl or the fit guy. And you go in there and it's a little bit intimidating. Like for myself, even though I am in the fitness space, I don't drink matcha and ghee. I don't cook with ghee or tallow.
Right.
Like I'm not like that.
Yeah.
But your brand, your business, when I walk past, I'm like, I can see that it's healthy. I can see that it's a good, nutritious place to be, but it's fun and inviting, and there's none of that intimidation to kind of go in and test the product. So that's what I like the most. I love your social media. I love your branding. It's hysterical.
And that's really important to us too, because we didn't want to have that.
Right.
Because we've experienced in the last, I don't know how many years, like 7 years.
Yeah.
We've experienced the whole array of juice bars. The juice bar that you referred to, which is like the unapproachable and the scared to ask questions because you're like, I don't want to come off dumb.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to know what I'm drinking, but I want to experience it, but I don't want to be like overwhelmed with information.
We're here to provide a really high quality product in an environment that is welcoming to everybody. Like for example, we are currently all vegan and plant-based, but like we're not pushing veganism. Like we don't, like you don't have to like be a vegan to come in. You don't have to eat a certain way. You don't have to like eat only
You can get
plant-based
Botox
stuff.
and then eat vegan,
Correct.
right? Because life is moderate.
Correct.
We
It's
prefer
all about
that.
balance, all about moderation.
Yeah.
And so wherever you are in your health journey, whether you're like super ripped and you've been doing, fitness for your whole life, or you're just starting out, like we're there to help you and guide you, and we can help point you in the right direction of what kinds of products you want. So we try to be super inviting to everybody.
So tell me about like your menu, your products. What is the most popular when people come in? What is your most popular thing on the menu?
I would say 80% of the business is smoothies and juice.
I would agree.
Yeah, and I mean the juices are cold pressed every single day on site, not in like a factory somewhere.
And I want to talk about this because you delivered juices to my hotel in New York.
Yeah.
And they were and I'm not just saying this because I drink soda, right? So for me to say this juice was good, it's good. Like it was really,
Thank
really
you,
good.
thank
Like
you.
I could put my name behind it that if someone goes there and has the juice, if they don't like it, I'll pay for it. I'm
Right.
prepared
I
to
love
say
that.
it here.
I love that.
It was really, really good. But
Thank you.
2 days later, you even said to me, you were like, oh yeah, it's good for a day or 2 or 3.
Right.
But like, don't drink it after that.
Right.
You even told me like which ones to drink first out of the batch.
Correct. Yes.
Why is that?
Because it's raw, right? And so we're not treating it's not going through an HPP process where you basically extend the shelf life. Like if you look at a bunch of other places or in the grocery stores, if you look at the dates, they'll be like 1 or 2 months out in advance, which is convenient and you can leave it in your fridge. But unfortunately, going through that process kills a lot of the nutrients and it doesn't like maintain that like thick, juicy feel. So we're juicing literally from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. We're pressing, we're hand bottling, hand tagging, delivering to each store. So it's raw, it's quick, and it doesn't have a long shelf life, but it's fresh, it's pure.
And you get the nutrients. And like to piggyback off of what Brennan just said, you're paying the same price. So like we'll price it out and you'll get all the nutrients within that 3 to 5 day range versus somebody like going to a grocery store. Then you will pay the same price and you'll get like less than half the amount of nutrients. But you pay for the convenience. You'll have it in your fridge, but it's like, what would you rather pay for? The premium thing.
First and foremost, we wanted to have the best product you can buy. That was like the seed of the business. So we basically went through all of the categories. And juicing, like what do we need to do to provide the best product? We need the best juicer. We need a full-time juicer. We need to be glass bottle. We need to have hand tagging. We need a bottle every single day. And then we did that same exact structure with like smoothies, smoothie bowls. Like for example, acai. Like a lot of places.
Let's talk about that because they scoop. I've seen a lot of places will scoop the
And I
acai.
love that you've seen that because that's so important because like we pick up on those details because like we're looking for it, but it's cool to know that you're looking out for it too.
I notice everything. I'll still eat it, but I notice everything. I see it comes from like a big container. It's being scooped from a freezer or like freeze. So what does that process look like for your acai bowls versus another place?
We want to put up a sign that says like, this is not fast food. Like everything that we make takes time and it's all hand blended. So for example, we'll take raw acai like from the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. It's like clean, all organic, not sweetened. And we blend it and hand whatever, every single, and it takes 5 to 6 minutes because it just takes the manpower. Whereas other places, it's convenient if you scoop it out of a tub because it gets delivered from a centralized commissary or factory. But oftentimes for it to stay that way, it's loaded with like sugar and all this extra crap. So again, it's convenient, just like the juices in the plastic bottles, but it's not the best that you could do.
Now, this is a question that I'm going to ask you guys as entrepreneurs because I know there are probably people listening that might want to know this. That process seems very tedious, but obviously your goal is not to stray from that because that is what sets you apart in the market. How, as entrepreneurs, do you plan to still maintain that kind of care as you're expanding as rapidly as you are? Right? Because a lot of the times places will open as a single store and they can do that. As you're expanding, what kind of things do you have in place to ensure that that will never change, that customer promise?
First and foremost, it's so important who you hire because the people that you hire are the faces of the business, are going to be the ones that represent you. So I think to answer your questions, you hire the right people. So you hire the right higher ups and you trust them. I mean, it's like just delegating and trusting the people that you hire, trying as hard as possible. Like you said, we're rapidly expanding and just trying as hard as possible to get those people in place. That could be the ones to be like, okay, this is my BB.
Totally. Well, I think also you have to educate the customer. Like that's why I want to put out a sign in the stores that says like be patient. Be wait. Like you have to wait. Be wait. You have to wait because this isn't be wait. Just hold on a second. But you know what I mean? And like I think people are okay with waiting if they know they're getting the quality product. Now, if you're waiting 10, 20, 30 minutes for a bowl, like we have a problem. We need to fix that. Add more blenders. Hire another person. Make the process easier. But I think educating the customer and like telling them like, listen, like you're gonna get what you pay for with this. Like it's gonna be a little bit more money and it's gonna take a little longer time, but that's what makes it so great.
So special, you know? And you're growing. Your latest location is gonna be in Greenwich, which is really exciting.
Thank you.
Tell me about your growth plans going forward. What does that look like? You don't have to give like exact locations, like obviously you want to like keep it secret, but
can't give the secrets away.
What are some of the plans for Barvida going forward?
That's a really good question.
That's a great question.
Yeah, we're actually like in the middle of trying to figure that out. So there's a number of locations and neighborhoods and towns in Connecticut that you kind of have to hit, kind of like you down here in Florida. Like you need to. They're all the same demographic. Like they're close to each other. But we're actually considering how to expand. I mean, we've had a lot of people from New York ask for us to open and you know, Miami, but that's something that we have to figure out. Like, how can we, as you said, keep the same quality and scale, right? Like, do you bring on an investment? Because right now it's only self-funded, but it's like, if you want to scale that out, like, do you want to bring on money and give away some equity? Do you want to franchise, which we've been talking to franchise consultants as well. Like, that could be an easier way to kind of hit those markets without being too stretched thin. But we're actually actively trying to figure that out right now.
Yeah, and I think another thing that I want to touch upon is a lot of people, it's actually something that we've never like even spoken about really, but a lot of people applaud us for doing it in like taking our time with each location and not like rapid fire opening, because it's such a big operation and we want to make sure to get it right. And we're so excited and we want to open up all these different locations in these different places that people are talking about. But we also want to make sure to give the attention to detail to each space so that it can create a life of its own, kind of like going back to what you're saying for like plans of expansion. So we just like want to set up each space and have the time to set up each space so that it is its own life force and then move on to the next one.
But we will get to a point where we've done all of Connecticut, right? And then it's like, what, like, there's only 3 or 4 areas that we would even want to be in Connecticut. So like after that, you're kind of like,
and we're ready in 3 of them.
what do we, like, where do we, you know what I mean? So that's like on the horizon.
And for entrepreneurs that are wanting to do a brick and mortar space, especially in, you know, like the food and beverage industry, what advice do you have for them, and what are the sort of biggest hurdles for doing this, you know, in today's day?
Biggest advice would be, if you're going to commit to it 140%, because statistically speaking,
it's not going to work out.
It's not going to work out.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a realistic way.
Yeah.
So if you're crazy enough
But that's
to
why
start
I love
something,
the two of you, because you're nuts, but he's nuts.
Right,
Yes.
you have to be nuts, because anybody who's sane like wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
It takes everything out of you. It takes all of your money, all of your time. Like it literally took every single penny we had, like all of our time. It'll probably take twice as long, cost twice as much, and be half as profitable for the first 6 months to a year.
I remember when you started, you were taking like 6 months to find the perfect glass bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
But once you find them,
Because you didn't want to just rush in and get any bottle. Like you were like manic about this.
You have to be meticulous
bottle. I remember
about-
I was like, we have to open. He's like, we need the right bottles.
Yeah.
No, you have to be like it matters.
Yeah.
Like because that's your brand. Like someone's gonna go home and put that glass bottle on their shelf, and they're gonna see it every single morning when they drink their coffee or whatever they use it for, and they're gonna be like, wow, this brand sucks, or like, wow, they did a good job.
Yeah,
and that's like an imprint every single day. So it matters, right? Like this stuff.
You have to be absolutely certifiably insane, and then have a partner that's just as
kind
of
the other piece of
just kind
advice.
insane too.
The other piece of advice that I would give is to find somebody in the business or any sort of mentor, because like I did that and I knew somebody in the industry and I couldn't wait, because any money that we made, I gave it right back to him to buy more consulting hours, and I would just ask questions 24/7.
Do you think that was beneficial, or looking back, do you think you could have done it?
No, it was 100% beneficial.
beneficial.
Because they can tell you things that you would, like, you don't know what you don't know. And if they can help you solve problems that you'll run into 5-10 years down the line, like you just get that much farther ahead. And you spend a couple $1,000 initially, it saves you tens, 20, 30,000, like tens of thousands going forward.
And
So
you're gonna run into problems. It's not like this person's like gonna like solve all your problems and then you go from there. It's like you're just kind of asking the right questions to the right person. And if you can find that person in your life, or just seek them out online or whatever, then it just kind of helps you start the process. And then you'll face all your other problems as you go along, but at least you had asked the right questions to start.
And you have a direction, and then you can gauge like whether you're, like, if you know it should look like this, or your P&L should look like this, or your cost should look like this, like, you know, from having talked to that person, if it doesn't look like that, you know how to correct it. Whereas if you didn't know that in the beginning, you would think you're doing well when you could be doing twice as better.
Yeah.
And then back to what you were saying just really quickly before, you have to want to start at 140%. You have to put in 140% of effort, because like if you put in 60%, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna start this thing, like I'm gonna put all my energy in, and it's really just half your energy, and you spend all of these years starting this thing, and it's like almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like it doesn't work out, because statistically,
to the 100%, because you only gave 50%. Yeah.
Exactly, so it doesn't work out, and then you're like, oh, and I wasted all of my time and like all these years, and then
But you have to be crazy to do it, because you have to keep showing up every single day with a positive attitude while simultaneously knowing that it probably won't work out. Like that's like fundamentally for me like crazy. Like you have to show up, be like, we got to do this. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out, when you know
that the statistics are against you.
That it probably won't. So how do you have that attitude? No more money, like losing all your money, putting all your time into all of everything, and still showing up with a positive attitude. Like you have to approach the business in that way, because if you don't, it certainly won't work.
And that's why it's actually very special to have each other to kind of, because you're not going through this in your head by yourself, because you know it and you're like trying to fight yourself, but like because we both know it, we're able to have it as a conversation and push each other to grow and be better business owners and partners.
What was the biggest financial mess up that happened in your first and second location, or your first location, that you learned from how to streamline it for the rest?
Yeah, I got this.
You got this.
I got this.
I know.
Okay, so we opened up Darien, and then that did very well. We knew the people there. We knew the market. There wasn't a lot of competition. It was great. It was perfect.
And we were the best.
Yes, and selfishly.
Yeah.
So a mistake that we made was we wanted to open up another location because we saw how well the first one was doing. And so we tried to open up two at once. We tried to open up New Canaan, and we tried to open up a place in Old Greenwich. And what ended up happening was New Canaan was built. It did well. Like it, you know, but we ran into a lot of problems in Old Greenwich. Basically, long story short, the building wasn't suitable to open in, and we had paid 8-9 months worth of rent. We paid architects, we paid all of these people, lost over $120,000, and literally got to the point where we just mailed the landlord the keys because like we couldn't open in the space and we had to just cut our losses. On top of that, New Canaan took 6 months longer than we wanted it to start becoming profitable and bringing in money. So now, right, you lost a ton of money in a location that never opened because you got greedy and you were like, we're the we're gonna crush it, let's take over the world. And your other location isn't making any money at first. So that was a really, really, really hard time for us, and it was a really good lesson, and it was just a really expensive lesson.
But a lesson nonetheless.
So what is the lesson, if you had to sum it up for people that are
the lesson is to
expand from one to multiple?
Right. The lesson is to crawl before you walk and walk before you run, and don't make rash decisions, and don't get a big head. Right. Take it slow and do it the right way. Do it once, do it right, and never do it again.
Nurture it, and don't get too greedy. Don't get too excited too quickly. You can take that excitement and like let it just breathe into one space and then another and then another.
But it actually ended up being the best lesson ever, because thank God we didn't have 3 open locations at that point. We got to focus on New Canaan, and we learned a lot through opening New Canaan, and we refined our craft way better that we wouldn't have been able to do had we been stretched thin. And now, a year and a half later, we can open on Greenwich Avenue, having learned all of these things. So it ended up working out for the better.
Which one of your locations is your favorite? You're going to both say it at the same time, and then you're going to tell me why. So you're not going to look at each other, and you're going to both say it. 1, 2, 3.
New Canaan.
The New Canaan.
The New Canaan.
I said, duh, New Canaan.
New Canaan?
I said there.
You can't pick your favorite babies. Yes,
you
you can.
can.
I know. I was going to say you can. Well, they're different. I know it's such a cop-out answer. Darien is just like the first baby, and it's just like we've just watched it grow and thrive and truly take on a life of its own. And we just pop in. We're like, hey, honey, how you doing? Okay, good. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Kind of pop in, pop out. New Canaan is special because we really had to, like, going through all of this chaos and like craziness, we really had to focus in on New Canaan. We spent a lot of time there, a lot of energy, a lot of tears, a lot of smiles. And so New Canaan is special because there was a lot of lessons learned within those walls.
Yeah.
And why is it your favorite?
I like the town of New Canaan. I think it's quaint. It's really walkable. There's a lot of other stores and restaurants. I like our building better. There's glass on both sides. We have a corner unit, so it's beautiful. A lot of sunlight. So that's why. Not really operationally or anything. I just like
But I feel like we're gonna both say, like, when Greenwich Avenue location opens, we're gonna both say Greenwich.
Yeah. Because Greenwich is just cool because it's Greenwich Avenue. I mean, it's so.
But all of them.
But New Canaan.
Nice. But New Canaan.
But all of them.
And what is your dream location to open in anywhere?
Hers is New York City.
Yes, and.
Miami, definitely.
Yes, and.
And probably LA. Like, I want to be in all the major areas. I mean,
So
honestly.
you say that is your dream. If you had to pick one.
New York, because it's home.
Yeah.
Ugh, I'm so bad at picking one. You're like, I'm gonna kill you. Pick one. I'm like, New York and California and Miami.
Yeah.
New York, California, Miami.
New York is cool because it's close to the other one, so I think we could like realistically manage it better than just like opening one in LA. Miami is cool because I see a bunch of locations opening up in Miami. I think the market's great for it. It's a year-round business. I don't think there's a ton of competition, so Miami would be cool.
I mean, if anyone can come to Miami and disrupt, it's you guys.
Thank you. And
Definitely your social media. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
That'll be fun.
We want, even just like feeling myself get excited. I'm like, maybe it is Miami. Like, I was like, fuck, it's obviously Miami. Yeah, so that would be super exciting.
And it's cool, but on the social media aspect, like we're very different than what Connecticut has seen. So I think that's been very special for us to start in Connecticut because we kind of push the envelope a lot. Not kind of, we extremely push the envelope. And I think people like it. Like one of the first things that someone posted about us, and I'll always remember, he said on a street filled with stripes and flowers.
Like
he was
pink
like,
and green.
Pink
like
and
stripe,
green and then pinstripes. He's like, comes this new edgy black.
Right.
He called us the black heart of juice bars, and I will never forget it.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but I will never forget what he said.
It's not as good as the bad boy of juice.
Bad boy of
I
juice.
coined that.
The bad boy of juice. I love it.
It's not. It's a close second.
And then talk about your team, because you say hiring is very important to you. How many overall employees would you say you have? And this is a good one for people that have businesses. How do you fire your staff?
That's a really good
How do you know
question.
when to fire them, and how do you fire them? Because I'm terrible at that. So I'm always wanting to get advice from people that have, a place with multiple staff members. How do you do that?
Well, I think
Who fires?
me.
Oh, pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. And it's funny because you would think,
You would be the...
But
in theory,
I just I think people are scared of firing, but you shouldn't have to really fire that much. Like the way to mitigate that is to just hire the right people in the beginning. That's like the best way to do it. But
And what do you look for in that? Because how many people are on your team?
I don't, maybe like 15 to 20, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
We're actively hiring new people for current locations and for the new location. But we have a lot of people that have been with us for literally 4 years. Like we just try to treat them like the best that we possibly can. And how to fire someone, like I like to have conversations with them, and I like to sit down and I say, hey, listen, like I try to express to them that it's not personal. Like it has nothing to do with you. Obviously I like you, like we hired you. Like, but it's operationally. Like there's the business and then there's personal. So it's like I gotta stick in the vein of this business right now. I'm not, I'm not talking about your
I'm asking
character.
this because I'm trying to get some verbiage in my head.
Because you have to separate it. You have to separate it within the terms.
Tell me, you want to write it down?
You have to separate it within the terms of the business, within the confines of the business. Listen, I love you. I love you as a person. Like obviously we hired you. Like we think you're great. Separately, I also have this thing that's now bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us. It's taken on its own life form. It's this business. Like we have to make the right decisions for the business while also trying to appease everyone. And that is the business owner is a hard place to be in. So I like to start with that because then it makes them. Well, no, no, but you know what I mean? Like as a business owner, as a small business owner, you're in a difficult position of like you want to be nice to everyone. You only want to hire the best people, but you also at the same time always have to do what's best for the business. Period. Yeah. Always have to do what. So once they understand that, then it makes it not about them. It makes it not about It makes it about what is best for the business. And if they can understand that, like if someone said that to me about their business, I'd be like, dude, like
that makes sense. I
get that. Like you gotta do what you gotta do.
I get it.
Like one guy was like, honestly, bro, like I get it. Like I would have done the same thing. And I'm like, great. Like thank you.
Just level with them. You have to just be like, come on. Like we're never gonna like fight unless something like happens like that's crazy, and thank God, knock on wood, no wood, someone knock on wood. Unless something happens that's absolutely crazy and it's like fireable on the spot, we've never had that situation. It's been like,
but because we hired the right people in the begin with, you wouldn't hire somebody like that.
So when you have that conversation, the like firing conversation, you're kind of having like a come to moment where you're like, we both know like,
that it's not.
Like you let them.
But also,
they know.
Yeah, but I also think it's important to have conversations leading up to it, right? Like it's never like a black and white. It's a, hey, listen, like this is what's going on. Like I'm just letting you know, like we kind of need it to move in this direction in order for us to keep giving you hours, in order for us to keep you on. And then it's like, if it's the third time, you write it down and then like you just show up with your little notebook and you're like, hey, so this is the third fucking time that we've talked about this. Like, what would you do? Yeah. Like, do you think I should keep you? And like, it's like, they're like, no. And I'm like, great.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like,
after Greenwich, what are the plans? When do you open? Tell us about that. When is opening? What does that look like? And what is the plan for the rest of 2025?
So we're hoping to open in May. I want to say early May, but you never know. Life happens. Maybe a soft launch in early May. And then from there, we're going to do what we've been doing, what's been working, and really just focus our energy, attention, show up, meet the people, meet the town, become one with the community, become embedded in the community, and then listen to demand. Like, we know where we want to go next.
Right.
Like, we probably want to go to Westport next. Yeah. That's not really giving anything away because like that.
We've made it like abundantly clear.
We made it very clear. People were actually like, wait, not Westport first? And we're like, surprise, keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
We're probably going to go to Westport next. And then...
Because you're already doing let's talk about your business outside of your brick and mortar. You're doing a lot of deliveries in the city already, right?
Yeah, so we got...
So what does that look like before we wrap up, because we're running out of time? There's people in the city. How do they go about having access to your product in the city? Do you do weekly drops? What does that look like?
Yeah, so we'll do a weekly drop. I mean, like, that's super exciting because it just kind of shows that there's not a lot even in New York City, which is right in our backyard. But like, it's actually kind of wild. Like, we just have like a group of like girls who are into fitness, health and wellness, like that whole kind of niche.
Yeah, Grace kind of introed us.
Yeah, she introed us, and then like literally they just like Venmo me every single week, and I put a bunch of juice in my trunk in a cooler, and then we drive down, go to every person's address, and hand deliver them this juice.
Dealers.
So what's the cutoff if you're listening and you
We don't give a fuck.
Anywhere.
We'll go all the way down to the bottom. I'll spend more on
Venmo?
fucking gas than I will make on the fucking juice, because it's about getting the product out there, showing people what it is. Like, it costs us 3 hours of driving, a bunch of gas or whatever, but it's not about
a
that.
playlist. You're in the city.
Right, it's a vibe.
You get to check into reforming Pilates.
Right, exactly. Because I know the code, so I just always pop
You
in.
guys are one of the, other than staff, you guys are the only ones who know all the codes.
I love it. Good, because I'll just pop in and make sure they're doing their job.
So if they want anything from the city, they must message Barvida, or how does that?
Yeah, they message Barvida Juice Bar, our Instagram, and it's just really cool. Like Brennan said, there's so many places in the city, so it's really special for us that we get messages every day being like, hey,
yeah, I see people that I follow, they're drinking your juices and they're tagging you, and I'm like, you live on the Upper West Side, like how did that?
Yeah.
And then I know you were like doing the weekly drops.
Because we're just crazy. Like, we'll just get 3 Venmos, be like, yo, like, we gotta go to the city right now, we're doing it. And like, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like,
we just
and everybody that has had the juice, and I'll message them, be like, those are my friends. And you know how
amazing.
people are always like, oh, those are my friends. They're not really. But I'll message them, be like, those are my friends.
No, like, actually, they're our
And
friends.
then they'll be like, well, I had to get from here because there's nothing around me that is comparative.
Well, thank
So
you.
that's like a really cool thing to hear. You can be proud.
It does.
really
Yeah,
is
thank you so much.
And we just want to keep fanning that flame, even though we're not physically, we don't have a brick and mortar yet in the city. We want to like keep that excitement.
Yeah.
So that when we do open, everyone's already like, okay, like we're ready.
We've been waiting.
Yeah.
We've been waiting.
Right? That's kind of where you want to be.
So
when you
yeah,
open.
that's kind of the direction
Amazing.
we're going in.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for coming. I'm really excited to finally come and go to one of your brick and mortars. I've had your product lots of times, but I've never been to a brick and mortar. So I'm
Thank
really
We're
excited to
super
like
excited.
actually come in and like experience it.
We're gonna get.
We're
you a
excited
red
to have you.
carpet.
I'm excited to wait 10 minutes because you know why? It's worth it.
Listen,
Dude,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
If they bring that bowl out in 9 minutes, be like, too quick.
Yeah, that's too quick. Are you using the frozen acai?
Yeah. I mean, like, we want to get people used to waiting. It's not fast food. You're not just going to go in and go out.
No.
I mean, if it takes more than 10 minutes, we might have to have some hard conversations with the staff.
But it won't.
But like 10 minutes is
But
okay.
I can't wait to come in and be patient for, fresh food.
I love that. Be patient for fresh food.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
Yes, thank you for
Yes,
having
this
us.
was incredible. Seriously.
Amazing.
So can you guys do a quick call to action? Tell us where to find you, where your locations are, your social handles, and how Brennan can bring you juice. Watch, everyone's going to see the video of this. I'm sorry, Tara. And they're going to be like, he's really hot. And then they're going to be like calling for the juice delivery. So you're going
They're
to
gonna be like that hot guy. I'm gonna
the
be
hot
like,
guy
yeah.
will get a juice.
You want a juice?
Yeah, he'll
I'm gonna
bring
feed
it,
into
yeah.
it. I'm like, Venmo him.
Yeah, Venmo me.
Yeah. The hot guy will deliver the juice if you Venmo me.
Me, yeah.
So
And the guys will watch, but now they're probably going to want to.
There you go.
Equinox is about to call you, all the guys there. So what's the call to action? Yeah.
So you can find us right now in Connecticut. Our brick and mortars are at 879 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut, and in New Canaan, it's 137 Elm Street, New Canaan, Connecticut. and 28 Greenwich Avenue, Greenwich, Connecticut.
That's a good
And
zip
then-
code.
It's a good zip code. And then the world, we're taking over, baby.
Great.
Instagram is Barvida Juice Bar.
But don't ask for him to bring the juice to Miami because he won't.
You won't.
He won't. I asked him. He couldn't get it through TSA.
No,
Yeah.
you have to wait.
Yeah.
You have to come get it.
You have to be
Gotta come
patient.
get it. Yeah, gotta come get it.
You gotta come get
You
it.
want it? Come get it.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're gonna
Social
get
media
flooded.
handle?
Barvida Juice Bar.
Perfect.
And
Yeah. And then our personal ones, if you guys want to follow, if all the girls want to follow Brennan, Brennan's is Brennan. Oh, no.
no,
No.
I changed it.
Oh my God. Oh my
Wait a
God.
second.
I mean, yes, it's Brennan Branca. No, it's Brennan Branca. You guys have to look that up and try to find him. And if
It's the boy from Connecticut.
mine
Boy
is,
from Connecticut, yes.
Mine is
she's a
girl from New York City,
City.
and his is boy from Connecticut. Aw, so cute.
Perfect.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you for watching, and you can subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and we'll see you soon.